Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, 31 Sports presents Super Saturday, the 59th renewal of the Alabama-Auburn game. Brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. And by Williams Service, serving you with over 50 locations in northern Alabama.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We welcome you back to Legion Field tonight for our post-game show of Alabama-Auburn, the 59th renewal. And this one pretty much, Jeff Spiegel, went exactly the way that a lot of people had predicted, where it was all Alabama early and Auburn charging late.
Exactly the way you predicted it to be, Gus. Alabama scoring 21 points in the first half, and then having to hold on tight toward the end, having to come up with a big stop late in the fourth quarter to win the football game, 21-14, and I can't wait to see the highlights of this one.
Let me tell you how we set this game for you in the pregame. Here are the keys that we showed you. We'll start with the Auburn keys to victory if we can. Jeff, there they are.
Right, establish and control the ground game. Now, in the first half, they did not. Score early and often, and certainly they did not in that one. Keep the ball away from the Bama offense. Again, Auburn failed to do that in the first half. Play flawlessly on special teams. All right, let's go on to the keys to Alabama victory. Establish and control the passing game. Yes, they did with 2 deep balls. Solid first half plus points. That was something Alabama did very well. The defense must stop Stephen Davis. They did a good job of that, caused a fumble even. And the offensive line must protect Jay Barker. And yes, indeed, they did in the first half. But in the second half, Auburn turned up the defensive pressure.
So Alabama with a 21-14 victory. Let's go ahead and show you first quarter highlights of this one, if you will. And Jeff, I'll leave you to do the honors, starting right here.
You got it. The Auburn players coming onto the field. They were pretty fired up. Alabama is going to kick off to Auburn here. It's going to go deep, and a little confusion here on the Auburn side. But they get a pretty good return of it up to the 25 and the 26-yard line as you hear the fans behind us. Auburn, nothing in the first series. Shannon Brown with the pass deflection right there. Alabama takes over on the punt. Sherman Williams, look at him go for some big yardage right there. Sherman, more than 100 yards rushing today. And a big run right there. That set up a field goal attempt, Gus. Michael Proctor, the most accurate field goal kicker in the SEC. And it did not happen this time, however. Wide to the right. So no score. We're still playing in the first quarter. Jay Barker dropping back to pass. Auburn getting some good pressure on him. Willie Whitehead dropping him for the sack, a loss of about 4. Then, a little later, Auburn with the football. Willie Whitehead getting happy there. Patrick Nix, he throws it incomplete, but we're going to go back and look at the replay. Nix, you'll see him right here get hit after the play.
He got hit awfully late right here.
Matt
and in
Parker.
slow-mo, it was a tough call.
Yeah, sure was. Kept the Auburn drive alive, though. But look at there's Gene Stallings getting pretty upset. Stephen Davis on the run. He couldn't do this today, but he did right there. Fumbled the football. Sam Shade recovers on the Auburn 47-yard line, the tight end business. Then Jay Barker going to work. He throws in the left flat to Terrence Lynch. Breaking a tackle there. There's one tackle. Breaking a tackle there. Breaking a tackle there before he's pulled down inside the 20. And then Sherman Williams. Nice little move right here to get through the defense. 14-yard touchdown. And Gus, let's take a look at the touchdown.
Take a look at this when we set it up on the telestrator. They're working on the inside read on the tackle. The downfield block is caused by the wideout. Sherman Williams is going to get the quick toss right there, the hand. He's going to kick to the outside. Watch the key block right there by the outside receiver. And, and he's able to keep his momentum, dashes into the end zone.
Outstanding play. Now Auburn coming back. Pat Nix, screen pass to Harold Morrow. Oh, it's going to go for a big gain. They're down past the 40-yard line, but a penalty. Auburn killing themselves in the first half with big mistakes like that. Barker, last play of the first quarter. Todrick Malone's open over the middle. He is wide open. Makes a great move on Brian Robinson there, and he is gone. 75 yards for the touchdown. Let's take another look at that one, Gus.
As we look at this again, Jay Barker, there's his key read on the inside, a simple post route. Come up, take a quick break at about the 30-yard line. Watch right here. He gives the quick look, then runs the post route, almost turns it into a corner route, takes it to the 50, makes one nice move, a poor high tackle there, and he sprints his way into the end zone. 14-0 Alabama at the end of the first quarter of play. And that's the way it would set up, and we talked in our keys to the game that Alabama had to get to the point where they absolutely controlled early in the game. Alabama known for controlling in the fourth quarter, not known for controlling early this year.
Yeah, we just got through talking to Auburn coach Terry Bowden, and he says he was counting on playing pretty conservative in the first half. Something he was not counting on was Auburn fumbling the ball in the first half and making some big mistakes, and Alabama took advantage of it. 3 turnovers, and they scored 3 touchdowns.
We'll be back. Continue our post-game show, Alabama-Auburn, right after these words. And we welcome you again back to Legion Field here in Birmingham. You can hear the crowd, but it doesn't matter who they're cheering for, they're all happy. Just heard along with Jeff Spiegel, Dave Lamb is going to be along. We're getting post-game.
What did you just say?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay.
We're getting post-game put together so that you can hear the comments. We're hoping to have some live guests come along. And first quarter, very surprising. You and I talked about. I never expected Alabama to score 14 in the first. Might have expected 14 in the first half, but not in the first.
Yeah, well, it was turnovers. It was all about turnovers, and Auburn could not afford to turn the ball over when they came into this game. They knew that Alabama was good at taking advantage of mistakes, and that was pretty much the story of the first quarter. Auburn turning the ball over, and Alabama taking advantage, Gus.
All right, here we go. Let's show you the second quarter highlights. Alabama will come up once again and get it pretty much done. Look at that. Just everybody there.
Chad Key on the reverse. He bobbles the ball. He's almost tackled in the end zone. He'll throw back to Jay Barker. Barker does good to get back to the line of scrimmage. What a play that was. Almost a safety for the Auburn Tigers. That's Sherman Williams. Boy, what a day he had again. Up the middle for 12 yards. Outruns Stephen Davis today. Barker then coming up. He lets it fly again over the middle. Marcel West, beautiful throw right here, Gus, beating Del McGee. Del McGee picked off a pass last year in this game. Not today on that pattern. We'll take a look at it again.
Right, now watch the route. He runs a simple post pattern. There's no deception. It's a straight post. He gave the corner one quick look, and he goes into the end zone. 21-0 Alabama.
And Alabama saw that in the Auburn-Georgia tape. Auburn vulnerable over the middle. There's Damian Jeffries coming through with a big sack of Patrick Nix. Oh, yeah, and, it just didn't look like Auburn could get anything going at all. Then Auburn on the punt return. They had a pretty good punt return here by Thomas Bailey. Good kick.
And it looked right here, Jeff, like Auburn had something going. Look at the good block, the momentum, but that block was a penalty.
It was illegal. And Terry Bowden, you'll take a look at him. He can't believe it. He says, can we do anything right today? Auburn struggling. Patrick Nix, late in the first half. It's deep. There's nobody near the football. Nix can't find the receiver. Then Butler High School's Darrell Blackburn with the pressure of Patrick Nix right there. There's Darrell coming up with a big-time play right there. You'll hear more from him a little later. Then Auburn, Patrick Nix. He finds a receiver, but Andy Fuller is pulled down by Ralph Staten. Nowhere to go for the Tigers.
And I think this next play epitomizes what Auburn went through just in the first half. They turned it around in the second half, but this play will show you what happened to him in the first half.
Yeah, Patrick Nix throwing the out route, and there is nobody anywhere around. Deshae Townsend, the nearest guy near that football. You'll see Patrick Nix going off of the field here, and Terry Bowden calling him over, trying to settle him down. Hey, look, still a lot of time to go in this football game. Last play of the first half, not that eventful. A punt by Brian Deal goes out of the end zone. So the end of the first half, it's Alabama 21 and Auburn nothing.
There were some other things that surprised me a little bit about this first half. The momentum in a big football game like Alabama-Auburn big game tends to shift up and back and up and back. This one didn't tend to shift at all, not in the first half.
No, it didn't. It looked like Alabama was going to run away with it entirely. Auburn had their backs up against the wall, and they just could not do anything. Alabama, on the other hand, you kind of had the feeling if they could score one more touchdown in the first half, they were just going to blow Auburn right off the field. Maybe that was big for the Auburn defense to keep Alabama down to that 21-point number in the first half.
All right, so 21-0. Alabama leading at this point. Let's go forward and kick off the second half of play, and we'll begin the third quarter highlights from here at Legion Field the game just ending a moment ago. There's Coach Terry Bowden wondering what would happen in the third.
And Sherman Williams, again, look at him breaking loose for 16 big yards right there, pushing back Brian Robinson. And then another good run by Sherman Williams. On the toss sweep, running through the defenders. Jason Miska finally bringing him down. Then Auburn starts to turn up defensively.
Here's the defense getting it done. Del McGee knocking it down. That's as good as a defensive player can play.
Yeah, Mike Pelton, he's an All-American player for the Auburn Tigers. Should make the All-American team. Stopping Williams right there, stuffing him behind the line of scrimmage. Then Alabama driving at the 20-yard line. This was a huge play. He'll get stripped, really, and Gus, it turned out by his own teammate, Maurice Belcher, as we will see on the replay.
All right, look at it very closely. Jay Barker stands in the pocket. Look at the blocking back. Barker steps out of the pocket, hits him in the head with a football. Ball goes on the floor, and Mike Pelton picks it up for the orange and blue, and it's going the other way. And finally, now remember, we're in the third quarter, and here comes Stephen Davis.
Yeah, if Alabama would have scored there, it would have been 28-0. Here comes Auburn the other way. Stephen Davis. Take a look at that huge hole right there. And it's Davis with a nice cutback and getting about 28 yards on this play. First big run of the day for Stephen. Then Nix, the screen pass to Fred Beasley, the true freshman out of Lee Montgomery. Nice run there to the 21-yard line. And then Nix again. He'll pass to Thomas Bailey. A nice looking throw right here going to his left. Not enough for the first down, but a good play right there. Auburn makes it on short yardage situation. And then you'll see Nix almost make a big mistake here, Gus.
He throws it and throws it into too deep coverage, and Tommy Johnson just couldn't get it done. But from the 1-foot line, Nix goes in by himself for the touchdown. And look at this. That's a very intelligent play call. So it was 21-7, Alabama at that moment.
And then day turned to night at Legion Field.
What a beautiful
gorgeous shot that is. And then here comes Sherman Williams again on 2nd and 8. Big yardage. Plenty of room to run. 18 yards. And yeah, the Alabama cheerleaders pretty excited about this one. And the Auburn defense, though, starting to get stingy at this point. Here's Alabama again. They're in Auburn territory. And take a look at the stuff right here of Dennis Riddle.
Pelton, everybody in there.
And then you'll see Jay Barker dropping back out of the shotgun, throwing over the middle to Curtis Brown, down to the 25-yard line,
That's
into the third quarter.
21-7, Alabama at that time. Interesting third quarter, but Auburn would charge hard in the fourth. If you didn't see the fourth quarter of this one, I got to tell you, you missed one particularly great football quarter. We're going to come back to Legion Field and bring you the fourth and final quarter highlights, and we'll hear from the players and coaches, I promise. We'll be back to Legion Field in a moment. And welcome back to Legion Field and our post-game coverage of Auburn and Alabama. You saw the placard there, Alabama 21.
They've already got the signs made.
Isn't that amazing? 21-14, Alabama comes up with the victory. Well, this is the football quarter that you live for as a coach or a player. The fourth quarter you want to own, and I'm not so sure that Auburn didn't come up big when they had to, although there was an enormous special team play by the University of Alabama. And wait till you see this special team play. Let's go to fourth quarter highlights, and you'll see a great quarter. Go ahead.
All right, let's go to 4th and 1. Bama is going to go for it right here. Jay Barker on the quarterback sneak, and he's got it. They say he doesn't have it, but he does have it. Now, Barker throws to the end zone on 3rd and goal. It's picked off by Brian Robinson. He takes it out of the end zone and returns it to the 18-yard line.
And
again,
Jay Barker just never gets picked off.
No, he doesn't. Patrick Nix now back to throw.
There you go.
And he's going to go deep. Thomas Bailey.
Now, had Patrick Nix thrown that a little bit better, that one goes the distance.
Certainly does. Good throw by Patrick.
No rap on the young man, but if he leads him a little better, it's a distance.
Now he drops back, and Damian Jeffries is going to pick off the pass. What a great game he had.
Now watch this right here. You got to intercept this one because it hits you right in the face.
Right in the old face.
Right in the old kisser.
And now Terry Bowden says, hey, we had something good going in the second half now. Oh, no. I'm getting one of those Excedrin headaches.
We'll move forward to late in the fourth.
Nix to Frank Sanders. He gets across the middle, and he's not going to go down until he gets to the 1 yard line.
Then, as we had seen earlier in the football game, don't exchange it, dive it over the top, touchdown. And Auburn closes to 21-14.
Now, would you have gone for the onside kick here?
I would have. Even with 3 timeouts, I agree with the onside kick.
Well, they decided to do it, and Terrence Lynch comes up with the catch right there. One of the good hands people for the Alabama Crimson Tide on the front line.
All right, so Alabama, with 2:08 on the clock, going to try and grind it out. They try to grind it out and move it up to Sherman Williams. Then the punt. Here it is, folks, the play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Deal, pooch punts, mortars it. Watch the stop right here. Watch the balancing act. Oh! Dead on the 1 foot line.
Eric Turner making the play. Great job. Then Patrick Nix, he's going to try to throw to Fred Beasley in the end zone. He gets out of the end zone and gives the Tigers some much-needed breathing room. Then on the next play, it's Nix going to Frank Sanders across the middle. Looks like the play that got him down to the 1. He gets an 8-yard gain right there. And then Nix, this is a heads-up play. Dropping back, the pocket collapses. He runs for 15 big yards.
Now let's go to 4th and 1. They call the little roll. Watch Sanders here. Rolls across. He thinks he's at the yard marker. The Bama D sticks it to him. And he was 1 inch short. And Gene says, attaboy.
And Terry Bowden did not have a problem with the mark of the football at all.
21-14 is the final as Alabama holds off a late Auburn charge in the onside kick. My, oh my, what a great football game it turned out to be here at Legion Field. Isn't that something?
Oh, yeah. Terry Bowden wanted to emphasize, Gus, in the post-game locker room that he doesn't want to make this a controversy over the officiating because he felt like he and his team, well, they wanted them to mark them the first down, but the official did not mark it that way. He has no problem with that, though. It's a judgment call, and he said a great finish.
All right, we're going to come back, and we'll start rolling your post-game. You'll get to hear what the players, coaches all thought about today's 59th renewal of Alabama and Auburn. We'll be back as we start winding down our 7 hours of coverage from Legion Field right after this. And welcome back to Legion Field here in Birmingham. Dave Lamb, who has done a yeoman's job of helping us today and anchoring the show, is in, and we've talked about it. Jeff and I, let's hear what you have to think.
Well, you know, pretty much, Gus, like we pointed out, or like you pointed out in the keys to the game, that's pretty much the way this one went. Whenever Alabama raced out to the 21-point lead, I don't know that many folks who really thought that Auburn would not fight their way back. That they do. Interesting the way that Alabama shut Auburn down in the first half. 3 first-half first downs. Stephen Davis was taken out of the game in the first half. Frank Sanders was as well. That speaks a great deal for the Alabama defense, but it speaks a great deal about the Auburn offense, the way they came back in the second half. Pat Nix did what he had to do. He got his team in position. It just came down to one big play. The Alabama-Auburn game always comes down just like it did today. A thriller at the end.
You know, we sent you the memo on the striped shirts that match.
I don't ever read those things. I start.
All right, let's quickly take a look at some player and coaches' reactions. We're hoping to have Terrence Lynch join us live in just one moment. Let's go ahead and roll the videotape.
We didn't know what to do when we were ahead. No, it was a good ball game, an excellent game to win. You know, I enjoyed, didn't necessarily enjoy it, but I appreciated the way that Auburn came back. I mean, they hung in the entire second half, made some plays, got 2 key turnovers when I was wanting us to come away with at least some points, and yet they fought the entire time. So they're really to be congratulated what they've been able to accomplish.
It was a tough loss, but they gave Alabama a lot of credit. They have a great team. We had a good game plan. They just stopped us first half. I thought we were going to come back second half and pull it out, but they stopped us, and I got to give them a lot of credit. They have a great defense. Too sweet. I just can't play right now. Well, I guess everybody gonna go back to Tuscaloosa and everybody gonna do a little celebrating now.
I guess y'all had the right game plan to stop Auburn, huh?
Yeah, you know, we did. We had a lot more powerful offense, you know, defensive plays. The first half, the second half, it came out and they did some stuff to us. I guess, you know, we slacked a little bit, but fourth quarter was ours.
First of all, let me say my hat's off to Alabama. I think they came out ready to play. They proved to be a champion, and an 11-0 team is a champion. And they get the most credit by far. I'm gonna reserve a little bit for my boys because although beaten and pretty sad right now, I told them that they got to hold their heads high because they kept in one loss. Maybe they showed more than any other game this year that winning spirit and that never get up attitude that we must carry with us. And if it would have ended at halftime, then we would have had to seriously regroup. This game was meant to be won in the last minutes. It's meant to be an unbelievable rival.
Well, you know, it's not really bragging rights. We still gonna be friends. You know, we're gonna turn each other. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna play hard next week. Sorry their season over. Sorry they couldn't go to a bowl. But you know, we're gonna keep it going for Alabama, the whole state of Alabama.
Hey, Willie.
Revenge pretty sweet to you now.
Sweet! Sweet in the word, baby. Sweet in the word. Until we go 13-0, I will not be happy. We still got 2 games to go. And the SEC championship is a big one. We win that one, then I'll be happy.
The state has a lot to be proud of. I mean, these 2 teams are really good teams, and I think that, you know, the Auburn just came out, played a great game, and came back, have a lot of great guys on their team. You know, Patrick Nix was not only a great quarterback, but also a great person.
The biggest thing I like about Jay Barker and Patrick Nix is they are incredible young men with a lot of class. We have special guests joining us on the set, Taryn Lynch out of Hazelwood High School, and I guess we've seen you play most of your high school college career.
Yeah, it's been a great career for me.
Talk to me about today's game. Go ahead.
We knew coming in the game that, you know, everybody's going to be up for the game, and we went out in the first half. We jumped on them real quick, you know, went up on them 21-0. The defense did a great job, and the offensive line just did a real good job.
You know what's interesting to us is Alabama, as your team has been this year, has been stymied in the first half. It's almost like you like to play the second half. In the first half, you're just warming up. But I'll tell you what, Homer Smith, everybody did a great job of getting this team ready to play in the first half.
Yeah, we've been practicing, you know, on the stuff we're going to run today, all week. You know, we had a very intense practice. You know, everything went right for us in the first half. You know, and Jay, you know, he's a great quarterback. You know, he kept his poise, and you know, we had him 20-14. You know, he did all the right things we had to do. You know, he just controlled the offense. He did a real good job.
Terry, you had a chance to punch it in there in the third quarter. Jay fumbles down there at the 20-yard line. Did you think that then, hey man, this game's a long way from being over?
You know, I thought that at first, but you know, I was thinking about this Alabama. You know, we never haven't let down. You know, we never haven't let down on our team. You know, we went out there and we did the things that we had to do. You know, keep them from scoring.
David?
Icing the clock and the game away at the end of the game. Obviously, the objective. Going for the pass there, the interception that Jay threw. Whenever you wanted to kill the clock like that, do you know what happened right there?
Well, we wanted to get some points out of there. You know, we went for the touchdown. When we probably should have went for the field goal, but you know, the play was called, so we had to run it, and nothing else we could do.
Yeah. Something that might not be, well, that will be written up in the papers, but might be forgotten pretty quick, is that you're the guy that caught the onside kick too. That was a very important play.
Yeah, I was worried about it. He was going to bounce over my head. So when I seen it coming, I jumped up on it quick so it wouldn't get the high bounce on me. And luckily it got to me, and I paid the price when I caught it too.
But I'll tell you what, that's something, that play right there is one that you will probably never forget, in the fact that that was a very major turning point and a decisive point in the football game.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's an honor, you know, to do something like that, you know, here at Alabama, especially when you play on a team like Auburn. It's just a great feeling.
This has got to feel pretty good to go out as a senior, and you've got 3 victories against the Tigers.
Yeah, it could have easily been 4, but you know, last year it slipped up on me.
Taryn, is there any way that Alabama can be denied the national championship if you went out?
It shouldn't be any way that, you know, we go out, we beat Auburn, we go beat Florida, and we win our bowl game. There shouldn't be any reason why we shouldn't be national champions.
All right, let me ask you one final question. We're going to let you go, and we appreciate you coming by, Taryn. In 1992, Alabama played almost identically to the '94 team, as we see. The big victories are coming.